Greetings, and today I have another deck video for you guys. So this what are you doing here? No. You're not in this deck. Maybe I'll feature you in a future deck, but not now, okay? Yeah, go. You should go. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. So, this particular deck is going to be the Ursine Ritual Lippy Cerys deck. So as we did know, Cerys did get boosted in this patch. So it no longer summons, it now spawns a Drum and Shield Maiden or a Drum and Queen's Guard. So actually this makes it really good because now with Lippy, if you can get into playing Cerys twice along with the Shield Maidens, then you can make up to as many as 4 copies of the Drum and Shield Maiden, which I think is actually very powerful in a short round. So I find this deck actually very ideal to play in a short to like mid-round, mid-length round, because you are gonna want to do a little bit of setup, for example with Lippy, and getting out Cerys with either Royal Decree or Mata if you haven't played them already. The particular deck that I'm going to show you plays 2 versions. One version has Mata, which is the one I'm gonna run you through with, and I'll tell you sort of the differences between them. And the other one runs Sigdrifa's Right. You could even make a case for even getting rid of Knickers to play both Mata and Sigdrifa's Right if you want to combine sort of the strengths of both. You just lose the possible strength of thinning out Knickers from the deck for that 3 extra power during the game. And potentially doing the same thing again, you know, round 3 when you play Lippy. Or round 2, depending. So we got Royal Decree. Royal Decree is a good, consistent card which we actually need in this deck because it's kind of essential that we get Cerys out and play her to her full potential if we do want to win games with this deck. Potentially also getting out Crow Mother round 1 if you don't get Crow Mother out yet. Essentially, we still have a bit of setup to do here, especially when we start games. We gotta make sure Crow Mother is out on the field as soon as possible. We gotta make sure that we get Cerys out quickly as well, because the way we distribute Ursine Ritual actually is we play 1 charge on Cerys initial to get the first Drum and Shield Maiden spawned. We play 3 on Vildkarl to transform him into the 12-point bear, and we play the last charge on Cerys again if we can get her back into the deck and summoned out again in round 3. So that's gonna be the distribution for Ursine Ritual. If that combo doesn't work, then, you know, even if you do end up having an extra charge for just, you could also play it on Morkvarg's armor. It does get rid of the armor, not to mention you don't lose a point, and you get the 6-point bear. So Morkvarg, of course, here is good for dealing with tall boosted units. So again, Ozrel, perhaps Sol, now that Sol's gotten much stronger. Perhaps Passiflora Peaches, or Slash Electrosis, or any cards that get boosted quite easily and to quite the amount of lengths. That is what he's there for, to sort of control that. We got Cerys. Again, she is a very key card in this deck, especially considering how strong she is, being able to spawn a Drum and Shield Maiden and thinning 2 of them out from the deck. Next, we got Lippy. Is obviously one of the core cards of this deck as well, enabling us to play Cerys perhaps twice in the same game, as well as Vildkarl and all that shenanigans, and also Roach, of course. Next we got, and also Morkvarg. That's also why Morkvarg is here also for that Lippy. Next we got the Crow Mother. Again, she has to be out ASAP if you want to get her sort of alchemy combo synergies going. Roach is what I'm here for. Mata is actually used to ensure that we can draw Cerys out again, so that's what she's there for. If we can keep her in hand for round 3 and we've already played Cerys, we can at least use it to draw out Cerys again. If not Cerys, then Royal Decree, because we want to make sure that Morkvarg's in our hand by the time this happens, because we don't want to take that chance and draw Morkvarg instead of Cerys, because that's not going to be a good time. Lippy should already be played before that combo happens. Crow Mother should already be played before that happens, and Roach comes out sort of, you know, Roach kind of like dominoes off of Lippy once, you know, he's played, of course. So the only real concern we have is if we don't end up drawing Morkvarg, but if we do, then we're in good hands with Mata and Cerys. Next we got Vildkarl, of course, is where 3 of the charges of the Ursine Ritual is going to transform into that 12. Again, with Sigdrifa's Right, you do make sure that you can play Vildkarl twice, so you can play him once to sort of get that big swing in round 1, and then round 3 you can summon him back to get that 12 points and still be able to use it in the game. We didn't play it in the second game, so we didn't get to use that opportunity. But like I said, if you choose to, you can get rid of Knickers, and then you can bring in Sigdrifa's Right in its stead. But speaking of Knickers, he is here for that possibility of thinning out the deck. He comes out, I would say 80-90% of the time, 95 even. There are a couple of games where Knickers just didn't come out at all, so he's really, really moody. This could be a very moody dog, you know, so, you know, you make your judgment based on that. But he does have an armor, so again, if you have one charge of your assigned ritual that you can't use because you didn't get out Cerys, then you could use it as an extra armored unit for you to use it on. Next, you got Morkvarg himself. You want to make sure that Morkvarg's always in the deck. You don't ever want to brick him, especially at a crucial round 3. Otherwise, it's going to cause you some problems. So you want to be careful of that. If you don't manage to, you know, brick him, then you're in good hands, and you can actually get Lippy to bring him out by being discarded. Next is Ermion. Ermion's a good tutor card for Giga Scorpion Decoction or a Golden Froth, depending on the situation at hand. So if you're looking to get rid of some engines, Decoction's a good way. If you're just looking to get some boosts to sort of pass the round, then you got the Golden Froth. Really your choice, but either way, you thin out the deck. And yeah, that's essentially what he's there for. Next, we got Grimace if we're ever dealing with any poisons, because we don't really want to get poisoned on our Vildkarl, because he would most likely be the most valuable target for poison anyway. But other than that, you know, he's just here for that. You probably might have a different choice other than Grimace to put. But I would keep him here because because if you see a lot of hidden caches in your queue, then, you know, Grimace might be a good idea to keep around to sort of disable the poisons. Giga Scorpion Decoction for the removal. We got the Drum and Shield Maidens because we are running Cerys. We got the Crow Clan Druid because we have the Crow Mother and the 2 Savage Bears and Roach and Knickers, so we do have options for the Crow Clan Druid. And the 4 provisions are 2 Stunning Blows and a Gunning Slash for the removal. 1 Golden Froth because it's alchemy and it's good with what's his name? Ermion, and it is a 6/4/4. 2 Savage Bears for the bleeds, which is nice, and again, it's beast. 2 Tersha Bear Masters for bleed support. For bears for beast support, and 1 Heimei Protector to top it all off. So this is the particular deck list. If you guys did enjoy this video after the gameplay, please let me know. And yeah. And of course, if you guys have any changes you think that would make this deck better, definitely let me know. I would like to take a read at them. And other than that, let me send you guys over to the gameplay. Okay, so for our first match, we're actually going up against Death Wish. So this is Kikimori Death Wish, most likely. I got 2 brick cards there that I just had to get rid of, so that's why I chose to get rid of those. I think I'm going to do more videos where I do sort of commentary like after the game, just so like I feel like that's just a better opportunity for me to sort of learn, study my own video, and just see where I could improve and like what I could do differently for future games. So we did win the coin here, so I was actually, because the thing is, this deck, I mean, if you getting Cerys out actually is a pretty decent 1-turn card. And if you can actually get her off round 1 and then round 3 again, then you actually get that extra copy of Drum and Shield Maiden for those extra 4 points. So he just goes ahead and starts you with a Penitent. My guess is he probably didn't have the Indrega Larva, or he's probably using the Larva as part of his combo with the Kikimori Queen. I believe I just go ahead here and I actually decide to take out Cerys with my Royal Decree and just ping her by 1. I'll be showing essentially the difference between the 2 lists is that one is going to be rocking Mata, and the other one is gonna be rocking Sigdrifa's right. This one is running Sigdrifa's right. The other one will be changing Mata. So if you see the difference between the 2 decks, between the 2 games, it's just 1 card. It really depends on how you play it. Obviously, if you choose to play Mata, then you should not be playing Vildkarl, unless you absolutely know that you can win with it. Otherwise, it's better to just save all those points sort of towards the end. So I just go ahead here, play my Bear Master on the Roach, because I do get him out. It's very easy to sort of indicate what kind of deck this is going to be, obviously, once you see Roach come out instantly. It's not, I mean, unless they're running some sort of like Corrupted Fulminica deck. Yeah, so he just goes ahead with Indrega Warrior. So at this point, he's just thinning his deck out here just to prepare for his Kikimori setup. I know that Kikimori now runs Renew, so that, you know, you can play Kikimori, I think, first round, and then also 3rd round again with Karanthier. Obviously, it won't be as strong between one of the 2 rounds. It won't be as strong. I mean, they also, I think I've noticed that some of them also add the the Haunted Armor meme card to go with Karanthier, so maybe that's why, and combine it with Renew. So I just go ahead and Decoction here. I figured that'd be the best way to get rid of the beast. I was looking to save all of my removal cards on the Kikimoris when they come out. But I have 2 stunning blows, so I thought, you know, a decoction wouldn't be too bad. You wouldn't want to have too many sort of cards that damage in your hand. You do want to start getting your combos going. But the thing with your combos is it's not as slow as like Engine Skellige. Like this one, it's like most of your power comes from Cerys and Vildkarl. Everything else is just sort of, you know, just cards you'd see on an everyday, you know, Skellige deck. So we are going on a bit of a struggle here. The good thing is he did go first, so because monsters is actually very scary because they can catch up very easily. Like knowing that an Eekern is imminent is just, you know, really scary to think about. Here I thought I made a mistake because I should have actually played Vildkarl here first. But you know, I kind of got, this is the first time I got bailed out in this one game. I think I got bailed out twice overall. You'll see the second one. So yeah, so unfortunately, I actually didn't end up drawing Cerys. Oh, no, sorry. I did end up drawing Cerys. I'm thinking of a different game. But anyway, so I should have played Vildkarl first. Unfortunately, I didn't. I made the mistake of that. So he could just keep going if he wants to. But I believe he actually chooses to pass here, which actually is not so bad for me. Kind of makes me give the opportunity to play Gremist. So at least with Gremist here. If I had played Artist, I don't know if he would have passed on even. Which might have been better, honestly, because if we're taking on Kikimori Queen, honestly, going long round with Kikimori, especially being a card down, if you try to bleed him, it's going to be a problem. So I just play Gremist because I know that Kikimori Queen doesn't really inflict status. And I win round 1. So for round 2, I had to bleed him a little bit because, like I said, like as valuable as last say is, it doesn't matter if he gets a Kikimori Queen combo off and that I don't have either of my stunning blows. So this is where I actually decide to bleed him here. Like I said, if I had played Vildkarl last turn and he had passed on even, maybe that would have worked out, but I think it worked out somewhat well here as well. So I just decided to start with the Crow Mother. Oh, nope, I'm kidding. I start with Vildkarl. This is where I said I just push with Vildkarl. If he had an Eekern, then that would have been a problem because, you know, I'd be a card down. But yeah, but the thing is, if he was running Temple Armor, then I don't know if he would be able to fit Vildkarl. Not Vildkarl. Eekern. So he does play the Indrigal Larva off to start with here. This is where I just decide to just play my Crow Mother. So he is starting to get his engines off here with his Thrive units. And then I believe here is where he plays a second Indrigal Warrior. So I think this sort of indicates to him that I don't plan on passing anytime soon. Especially because he knows that I know how the strengths of this deck. And that in the long round they are super good. So that's something I definitely have to be able to deal with. So this deck in particular actually does very well in a relatively short round. Just because, you know, if you can get Cerys, you can bring it out and you can get that extra copy of Drum and Shield Maiden, and now you have 3 copies coming off from the deck. You also have Sigdrifa's Right to take out the Vildkarl for just 12 points for 1 turn, which is pretty nice. Lippy itself too, if you choose to save it for round 3, but it's usually played on round 2. So he does go ahead and play the Indrigal Warrior, as I did say. So here at this point, he's starting to line up his insects. So I just go ahead and I just play my Savage Bear. So I do deny that Thrive for 2 turns, which is really nice. But then again, if the Indrigal, if he is going to go with the Kikimori Queen round 2 here, then which it looks like he actually is, then those bleeds don't really mean too much because the Indrigal Larva is an insect and it is going to get boosted. So he actually just decides to go ahead and commit his entire combo here. This is where I kind of see that it's actually okay for me to be a card down on round 3 because in exchange for him using his leader ability, that's actually really nice. So he just goes ahead and runs the combo off. I think I play 1 more card because I already pretty much accepted the fact that I was going to go down a card in round 3 after he made that play. So I just went ahead, went Morkvarg and Roach. I feel like this guy might have just pushed the Kikimori Queen all the way up to this rank. I mean, judging from his avatar and his title, he might have just pushed it. He might, yeah, I mean, I do have a decent lead here, but like, again, I know how this deck works, and I know that this, especially the faction itself, can swing power in just mere 1 to 2 cards. So, you know, I know that being 11 points ahead does not mean anything to me. So he goes ahead and just plays his basic Kikimori Queen, so his entire Kikimori Queen combo is gone. He no longer has any Kikimori Queen combos left. I am okay with passing here, which I think is what I decide to do. Yes, I do give him the pass. I do give him the card up, but, you know, he is out of a hero. He is out of a leader ability, so I suppose we'll see what happens. Alright, there it is. I believe he actually plays Eagern round turn 1 here, which I thought was interesting because he should have actually played it last round. And that way he could have actually saved his Kikimori combo. So here I tried to get greedy. I got rid of the Decoction because I can always draw it out. But then I decided to get rid of my Drum and Shield Maiden looking for that Cerys. And that didn't turn out well for me, so I thought I was screwed here. I thought I was going to lose. And this is where I'm going to tell you where I got bailed out pretty much. So I did get actually very lucky here. Unfortunately though, with Crow Mother in the graveyard, oh no, never mind, I already played Lippy. I guess it's in the second game that that happens, so I'm kind of getting my games mixed up here in a sense. But that's fine. But he does go first, and he has a card up, so we're not exactly out of the loop yet. It is monsters, like I said. They are very good at generating power very quickly and in such short notice too, so don't be comfortable if you're up like 8 or 9 against monsters. They're gonna bring it up real quick. That's like their specialty pretty much. So we Royal Decrease the Mata, and this is where I get saved because I have a 75% chance that I draw a Shield Maiden, which I get it, so this is actually really nice. This is how I got bailed out. So I play the Sigdrifus Right, bring back the champion as Foulblood, which also triggers the Crow Mother. So at this point I'm like, yes, I will take this. It makes up for my foolishness with the mulligan phase because I got greedy. He was either gonna get Cerys or Royal Decree. That's what I was hoping for. So yeah. So there's his Eagern. He actually should have played this in round 2. He actually would have been able to save his Kikimori Queen. That is what I think would have cost him the game there. Well, if he did that, if he did the Eagern in round 2, he actually would have beaten me because it was going to be hard for me to catch up. So, and I would not have gotten Kikimori out of him. He would be playing Kikimori now, actually. So, and he would still have his leader power. So I just decided to play Bearmaster on the bear, my second copy. Just get the vitality off. And then I think next turn I may have decided to play the Shield Maiden. He plays the Bruxa and just takes out the bleed on the bear. Now this is where I thought maybe he was out of bleed, so I actually decided to play Grimace. I think I decided to play Grimace here and foolishly use his charge. Oh no, never. Maybe I don't do that yet. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while, but it's okay. I think I decided to play Grimace here and just foolishly use a charge for no reason. Not even thinking that he would have a second Bruxa. But the good news is he does use it on the Grimace, I believe, so it's like that doesn't matter too much, but, you know, like a fool of a took, I decided to play it. I decided to play the Purify for no reason. Yeah, so he just decides to play Grimace anyway, so... And I think this is where I decided to play... Now I play the Drum and Shield Maiden because I do need to get off my Golden Froth, because I don't have 3 adjacent units yet. There it is. Not to mention I get my Bear Abomination at 6 power, which actually is pretty powerful, believe it or not. Okay, so but the thing is though, he has 2 thrives, so any big unit he wants to bring out is gonna get 2 extra boosts, so I'm not exactly out of the loop yet. So he does decide to play Renew. I believe he plays it on the Beast. I don't think he plays it on Caranthier. I don't think he's running the armor. But it is a possibility. So he does decide to play it on the Beast to get those boosts. Unfortunately, I have an answer to that. I have the decoction that I returned to the deck with Lippy. And I have Ermion to bring that out. So I guess I don't play the Froth yet. I guess I play the Froth second to last here. And then I have a Purify. Just get rid of the Doomed, because why not? I have another Alchemy anyway, in case he has something else for me, I suppose. So as you can see, it's like I move my mouse around a lot because I have a second monitor on top. So I try to switch between the two. So he does play the Barghest here. I thought he was actually going to consume his Eagern. But I guess he knows that I have Mork Varg running about. And that would actually be worse for him if he did the Eagern. So I guess the Mata was the better option. He wanted to maintain the power while he still had it. And then I believe my last play here is the Morkvarg, and I do play it on the Eaghern, which obviously is going to get eaten by the Osrill, but, you know, because I took off those points already, it's essentially he's just making those 13 points back, and I win this match. So just getting him to play the Kikimori Queen combo in round 2 was actually like best case scenario for me. I don't know if he had any other choice. I mean, I feel like if he had played Morkvarg round 2, like I said, maybe he just didn't draw it at the time. Maybe if he did draw it, he would have played it. So maybe that was just unfortunate drawing on his part. It does happen. It's quite insane. It actually happens to me a lot too with the drawing. I mean, part of it is me trying to get greedy, but, you know, sometimes it's just poor luck. Very poor luck on my part. So we'll take that. That's the dub on game 1. Okay, so now we're here at game 2. We are taking on a Pincer maneuver deck. It's been a while since I've seen one of these. My guess is this is a Siege Pincer maneuver deck. Because I think that's what most of them run anyway. There's my fellow teammate Driftbling from Team Bandit Gang messaging me about random shenanigans. So I do start off with the Crow Mother because I did get blue coin. Northern Realms is not like Monsters where it's not as power generated heavy, but they do have a crap ton of engines that can do damage. You know, they do their damage sort of later on or not. So he does start off with the Redanian Knight here. So I noticed that he is starting off a little bit slow there, which is nice. That's the thing with the Redanian Knight, is they're actually very slow. So he does go ahead and play the Radovid's Royal Guard next, and then I just choose to bleed it. I know I'm gonna have to make him, you know, use it next turn, because obviously if he doesn't, then he's gonna lose that bonus to armor. So you might notice a bit of cutout in these videos, and that's because I'm messaging Driftbling, you know, while I'm playing, so, you know. So he does play the Ballista here, and this is probably what he ends up armoring, so he's not committing a lot either. He might just be trying to get out at 7 cards. Plus he knows I did go first, and Knickers does come out, which is really nice. Sometimes Knickers just doesn't come out at all in game, so that could be a problem. Like, if that's the case, then maybe you can even get away with getting rid of Knickers and maybe putting both Mata and Sigjifas right together. That might, you know, that could prove to be a bit more useful. You do lose that capability of thinning your deck a little bit, but you kind of make it up with being able to use Vildkarl twice, not to mention getting off Cerys, so, with Mata. So he does pass on 7, which is probably what I was gonna guess because of how he was playing his hand. He was playing very low 4-point bronze cards, versus my 10, my 9, and, you know, all that shenanigans. So I have to push, obviously, because this is a Lippy deck. I can't just dry pass, because everything has to be set up with with this deck. So I do start, I believe I start with getting out the Cerys, because I have to get her set up here. Again, ideally, you want to be able to, you know, take this 3 drum and shield beta, turn it to 4 by round 3. That is the ideal situation here. Okay, so that's a strong part here with Cerys, is you can actually generate you a lot of points, like I said, in 1 turn. Not just that, is you also thin out your deck by a lot. So, you know, your chances of drawing are actually very nice here. Now we got Mata. Mata will, I believe, get us out a Heimei Protector. Heimei Protector, I feel like it's one of those cards that it's not so necessary to have, because I feel like I might just get destroyed easily. But it would be good to have if, let's say, for some reason, like, you're damaging Vildkarl 3 times and you need to have Heimei Protector. It just so happens that the Heimei Protector doesn't have Vildkarl. I believe yeah, so Vildkarl's not here, so Heimei Protector doesn't really mean anything at this point. I suppose you could also use it, like, if you're damaging the Drum and Shield Maiden, but again, I've already done that. So, and he does go ahead and proceed with the Siege. I just have plenty of tech cards for the Siege, so I go ahead and get rid of Reinforced Trebuchet. I also deal with the Battering Ram, also with the Scorpion's Decoction. The Giga Scorpion's Decoction, and that essentially makes his bombardment obsolete. Yeah, so I actually choose to decide to bleed the Reinforced Ballista because, you know, in the long run, Ballista will just actually do more damage, because especially if he triggers his bombardment. So I just go ahead and I take the bleed and I get rid of that Battering Ram, because those 3 points, believe it or not, can actually be very deadly. So So I have a very comfortable lead. I do like this lead for sure. I think next turn I do have to get Lippy. I have to get Lippy going. At this point, I feel like Vildkarl might not see play here. Like I said, this is the deck version that doesn't run Sigdrifa's Right, but you could also make a case for getting rid of Knickers to put in Sigdrifa's Right to combine both Mata and Sigdrifa's Right's capabilities of playing Vildkarl twice and Cerys. So next we got the Crow Clan Druid just for mere 4. For mere 6, I should say. But if you're ahead by like 12, then, you know, you can give up a couple of points. Again, this is not monsters, so it's like, you know, I'm not 100% worried. I'm still a little bit worried, but, you know, not too much, not too worried. Like, essentially, I made his bombardment very weak. So I like this burnt board art. So he does have the Dawnamir of Troy. I believe this deck actually has this deck is running the Visigoda, Dandelion, Priscilla. You're actually going to see this. I believe I play Gremist here first, and then I believe he plays his Priscilla, and then that's when I actually pass. Yeah, because I'm actually I'm ahead by 17 points at this point, so I'm obviously going to pass here. He plays Priscilla. He does get a couple of charges in the turn after, but I decided to pass here. I could have played Hayme Protector to even further push it down a card. Just because Priscilla isn't really as strong as, let's say, Dandelion in terms of, like, generating power. She can give some boosts to, obviously, the Redanian Archer, but other than that, it doesn't do much of anything else. So I just opt to pass here. You could make a case for actually playing the Hayme Protector, but I was like, I have a relatively comfortable lead, and he does have a Falibor, so... And I don't know how... Let's see how much he wins by here. He wins by 3, he wins by 4, so... Yeah, if I had played my Hayme Protector and he plays Falibor, then he would have been in the lead and I would have been a card down. So it's a good thing I actually chose to pass there. So you see Priscilla, you know that this is going to be a Visigoda Dandelion combo, so a Stunning Blow was really nice to get here. I believe I decided to keep this hand. If anything, I choose to get rid of Hayme Protector because I feel like it might get a bit too slow with Hayme Protector. Yeah, Bear Bastard here is fine because we have the champion as Foulblood, and I am not trying to break into Morkvarg, so I will take it. I will take it 100%. We do miss out on Ermion, so we actually can't play the Decoction twice, which sucks, but, you know, better than bricking the Morkvarg. So he plays the Radovid Royal Guard here, and this actually, I was thinking in my head, I was like, oh, this is perfect, believe it or not. This is actually perfect. I just go ahead and play Vildkarl because that is my most proactive play. I mean, I guess I could have played Lippy, but, you know, it was either one or the other. I don't think it matters which ones you play ultimately. And there's a Visigoda, and when I saw that he actually decided to boost the Visigoda, it played right into my hands. Like, I'm really glad I drew the Stunning Blow. Otherwise, I probably would not have won this game. Especially since he actually hasn't played Dandelion yet. So, here we go. See you never, Visigoda. See you never! So there's the Dandelion. He no longer has Visigoda, so no more charges from the Visigoda anyway. He might have the second Redanian Archer. But we go ahead and play the Tertia Bear on the champion of Foulblood. Almost butchered his name there. And now we got the Aretuza Adept. So this is actually a pretty good setup, but the thing is, we're down to like 3 cards, so he's not going to generate so much power from that, especially after I pull off my Cerys combo, which will generate me 15 points, no, I think 18 points, 4, 8, 12, 16, because I now have 3 Shield Maidens after I play my Lippy. So the sequence here essentially is going to be Lippy, it's going to be Mata into either Royal Decree or Cerys, doesn't matter to me which one, and obviously Morkvarg, you know, for that Dandelion Poet, sorry, just Dandelion. So we play Lippy here, we get the Morkvarg out. Roach also comes out here. There's the pass. And Knickers comes out too, literally just to add salt. Just to add salt. So. And now he plays the Pincer maneuver to get out Visagard. Although maybe it would have been better if he had played a card first. But maybe his last card just wasn't that good perhaps, so. So I don't know, like, I mean, especially if it was a card that boosted, but if not, then there's no sense, right? So here comes the Vizigurd. He's putting it in the range row, so he gets that extra boost. And here's the Kaedweni Sergeant. I guess this is the card he decided to draw because it was on the far left for him. Maybe, I don't know if that's how the thing still works. I think it still does. Anyway, so I just decided to play Mata to get out Cerys, and he gets out his 4 or 5 provision at this point. He's very low on cards, so like, I didn't exactly count how many 4 provisions. I mean, he's played quite a bit. He's played a Kaedweni Sergeant, he's played 2 Red of his Royal Guards, he's played, I think, a Ballista or 2, and he's also played a... Did he play Redenian Knight this game? Yeah, he did. So, maybe I gave him a 5. Oh, no, I didn't. I gave him another 4. He had another Ballista that he never drew, so here's the Ballista. Kidding. So he is catching up here. He does gain that power, and then that R2's Adet also gives him more charges. So now I play my Cerys, and I'm just, at this point, it's just a dominating lead that, you know, it's essentially game over. So this is one of those decks where you want to keep it in the mid-length round as much as possible. Long round, sure, but there's just other decks that just do way better in long rounds against this. Like I said, Kikimori Queen decks do very well in the long round. Hidden Cash decks do well in the long round. This one is sort of a mid-length round card. Short round, sure. And there's that Geralt Irgen. He must have come across a lot of heavily boosted cards, and this card this deck obviously does pretty well against Irgen as well, because we're not relying on tall boosting our units, but rather spreading out our power throughout cards in the deck. So that's going to be the gameplay for this deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. So that'll be the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to check out 2 other deck guides I'm going to have here. One up, one down. And of course, if you guys want to subscribe for more Gwent content, subscribe to me here. And other than that, hope you guys have a good day. This is Enzo signing out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.